Good day, everyone. Today, we'll be presenting to you our model-based trading application. Looking at the market, we have a lot of apps around. And one of it for the forex trading market is the MetaTrader, the TradingView, and eToro. But these trading apps does a lot for us. It helps us provide with the technical indicators we need. It helps us place orders. It helps us also to monitor the trades and be able to see the price action that we are experiencing in the market. It can also give us news feeds. However, it's hard to learn trading alone. You have to learn fundamental analysis, which is understanding the news, technical analysis, wherein you have to understand the different jargons and other tools to be able to see the charts. We also need to understand the sentiment of the market, how they feel about a certain company or trade. And at last, we need to have the trading psychology to be able to trade the market.
But what if we had a way to make trading more beginner friendly? The main issue is that time is consumed on just learning. Here we have created a platform that synthesizes the indicators. This reduces the time needed to learn the fundamentals. But before we dive in, let us first take a look at our methodology. For data extraction, we use the trading platform API from MetaTrader 4. Afterwards, we prepared the data by resampling for model inputting and feature engineering. We then trained multiple models and tuned necessary parameters. Lastly, we deployed the application with the best performing models. We use the trading platform API to extract a time series dataset containing the basic price indicators for forex, such as open and close prices, as well as the volume. The technical indicators used were based on the trading strategy manual, Beat the Market Maker by Steve Mauro. Afterwards, we consulted with an experienced forex trader to narrow down the indicators selected. As examples, here are some of the different indicators used for modeling. For the trend indicator, we use ADX or average directional index, which is used to determine when the price is trending strongly.
Further, for our modeling workflow, first we prepared data via a train test split scaling and cross-validation. Then next, we optimized the best model via grid search of different model parameters. Then afterwards, we compared multiple models including a time series-based model and a deep learning model. And lastly, we evaluated the model performance via several metrics as shown in the screen. To find the best features for modeling, we use F-regression score to calculate the weight of each indicator and selected the highest ones. On the left is the correct use, while on the right is the TDI, the Trader's Dynamic Index. We trained several machine learning models. Here, the model performances are evaluated using R-squared score, mean absolute error, and root mean square error. We also compared the models with the naive forecast, a baseline model used in the forecasting forex prices. This is the prediction of ridge regression, which is the chosen model in our project.
So for our conclusion, for our ridge regression, it had the most optimal metrics of evaluation, and it beats the naive forecast. The pipeline that we also created can also be used for navigating different financial instruments like cryptocurrencies and stocks. The only thing that has to be changed is the data source. And lastly, these models are only applicable for next period predictions only. As recommendations for similar studies in the future, we highly recommend that they explore other models such as FD Profit, which is another time series model, and MLP and CNN, which are neural networks. There also needs to be a focus on time series modeling for multiple day predictions. And lastly, there has to be a performance on backtesting to compute predicted profit and loss. And to give a demonstration on the applications, we will now go to our first output, which is the Discord bot. All right. So for our demonstration, we have here our Discord bot. And to get started, let's look at the different commands. To look at the commands available, we'll use help. And over here, we have 5 different commands, including the help command. So we have graph, which generates a candlestick graph for the latest data. In particular, we have a recent time period that will be illustrated via a candlestick. Predict 1 predicts the next period prediction. For instance, if you wanted to predict 1 day ahead for the prices, it'll predict 1 day ahead. And predict 5 is similar, and the only difference is that it will predict the next 5 periods instead. And for the table function, it will generate the latest 10 outputs from the price that you want to explore. And if you want to learn how to use these different commands, all we have to do is look at help and then type the another command that you want to look at. For instance, let's say you wanted to look at graph, and then it will generate the commands needed and a description as well. All right. So here we have the graph. How to do that? We have to type in exclamation point graph, the instruments. In this case, we want to work with forex data. The pair, there are 4 available pairs in our application. And lastly, TF, which is the time frame, which would either be daily, weekly, or hourly data. In this case, let's say you wanted to graph the forex pair Euro USD, US dollars, and you want to look at the daily data. So all you have to do is type in graph forex USD D1, and then you will see the actual graph. And now let's say you wanted to predict what would the next values be. In this case, let's type in predict 1. And let's say you wanted to predict forex Euro USD. And let's say you wanted to look at weekly data. And then right here, you can actually see that the model outputted the current price as well as the next possible price. In this case, we have 2 different models that are used for the application that will predict the next possible values. And lastly, if you want to look at the table of the last previous values, let's say you want to type in exclamation point table forex, and you wanted to look at, let's say, USD JPY, Japan versus USD. And let's say you wanted to look at the hourly data. And there we have a table of values for the recent prices of the pair. So that's it. You feel free to use this as well. And we'll now hand the floor to the Streamlit application.
So now here's our Streamlit app. Our Streamlit app is created using the models that we have studied. We also have here our Discord server link and our presentation. If you look at the chart, you will be able to see our candlesticks. For example, for Euro USD at hourly period, you could see it here. You could also adjust the number of months you want to view. For example, I want to reduce it. And then there are also tables at the bottom, which shows the last 10 entries points of the certain instrument that you are looking at. We could also click on the ENAs to have it graph on the candlestick. This chart is also interactive if you wanted to zoom in. These are the basic functions that we have for this portion of the app. So if you want to zoom in and check some of details, you could see clearly the candlestick. At the top of our model portion of the app is the last 10 entries with its indicators. The next part of the app is showing us the predictor A and predictor B and will give you the next price. And at the bottom is the chart showing the estimated price point in the next 5 periods. For example, in this case, it is hourly. We also have a pilot monitor if the MetaTrader platform is still communicating with our app. If there are open trades, it will also show us the open trades that the robot is currently doing. I hope you enjoy our presentation. Always go and check our link at this QR code. Thank you.